Let's talk about jazz. It still is not the most sought after mainstream music in this country.
No, that's
how,
right.
How about that in Australia?
In Australia, it's still a very fringe music because I suppose pop and rock music is still the biggest thing, and within jazz, and we fall into jazz because we're a blues band really.
Okay.
But because blues, it's probably the at the very forefront of the jazz style. Before jazz, really there was blues, and originally it's a Black American style of music.
Yes.
So jazz would have developed after blues was first there. So we represent represent the electric blues style.
Okay.
Because originally the blues would have been an acoustic instrument with
correct.
acoustic instruments like harmonica and guitar. But as those people, the Black American people, moved up into the urban areas like Chicago and New York City, then it became more electric. So we represent an electric blues style which would have developed in the 1950s and the 60s.
That's why in your website it's Chicago
Blues.
style.
Yeah. And Chicago is so special because it was where Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and some of our other favourites that people may not have heard of, like Little Walter, harmonica player. It's where that music was really really big. But other places were important like Memphis and New York City. But Chicago blues was very special for the electric blues.
For those who have not even known about jazz, and they're going to watch your show, what are you going to promise them?
Well, I think we offer a kind of a rawness to our music, which is sometimes jazz and blues covers a wide spectrum, but from very smooth and which is really good as well. But I think we offer a raw energy, I suppose, which we love. Yeah, and I think that's what blues actually has to offer in the spectrum of jazz. I think the blues has a rawness which is infectious, and it's a dance music as well as listening. So that's what we have to offer.
It's a real feel music.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys have performed in many places over many years. What are you looking forward to in Kuching? Your first time, right?
First time in Kuching, wow. I guess to bring a style of music that you wouldn't typically hear here. So blues is, I don't know if there are any prominent blues bands in Kuching. I hope so. But
coming up.
Yeah, from this area.
Yeah.
The blues gang.
The blues gang. Well, there you go.
Band.
So
Okay.
Dave has he has the knowledge of a prior visit. So
Malaysia.
it'll be great.
They're a fabulous band.
Yeah.
What's the main difference for a drummer for jazz as compared to maybe pop?
Chicago.
I think in this style of music, and Johnny will back me up here, it's important for the rhythm section, the drummer, to be very disciplined. It's more about a feel and a constant pulse. So you don't get too busy as a drummer in this style. So I heralded from a psychedelic rock band in my early days, and that was quite
really?
different to what I'm doing now. But I love what I do now, and the discipline and the feel. And when you really hit that groove, you can sit on it for hours. It's quite
How
special.
did you meet all the other three gentlemen?
Well, it would go back a long time, late 90s probably. So I often, what would happen is we would play at a lot of the same venues, or we would be playing at venues that were very close to each other, and in your set break you could go down and watch the other band for 15 minutes or so and watch your mates play, and then they'd come and watch you in their break. And often you find a lot of the players will circulate around a lot of the bands, and we all sort of play together. It's a very family affair, the blues in Perth, Western Australia. So
How is playing the drum to go with the harmonica?
I've got to behave myself. Try. So yeah, it's good. It really, it's listening. So again, you want to try and colour and complement the harmonica. And Dave's a great frontman. When he wants to take it down, you got to follow, take it down. And when he's starting to accent, he might be on a certain riff, and I'll complement that with like a stab at the cymbal or a crash. And it's a dialogue. It's like a conversation.
I'm going to reverse the question. How is it playing harmonica to a drummer like Sean?
Yeah, the drums and the harmonica really work together to complement each other. The harmonica can get swallowed up, and so as Chob says there, to get the dynamics, you really need a drummer that knows about playing with a harmonica. And in actual fact, the style of, it's not often called a harmonica in actual fact, even though it is a harmonica. It's called a blues harp. And on the harmonica, you can play lots of different styles of music, but to play blues on a harmonica and make it into a blues harp is a real different technique and style. You know, the harmonica can actually sound like a saxophone, and it's got chords on it to make rhythms and leads, and the harmonica sort of makes little short phrases which, you know, is a conversation with the audience, and the band are working with the harmonica, the drums and the guitar, add little fills and chords to complement the conversation the harmonica's having with the audience. And so we get loud with the harmonica, and we get soft and quiet and bring it down, and ultimately we're trying to entertain and have a conversation with the audience. So yeah, this guy is very important because he knows how to play with the harmonica. And also we've been playing together for a long time, nearly 20 years. And that kind of shows, you know, we just kind of can predict where we're going with the music, and we never play the same way, you know. Yeah,
it's always a new
different.
adventure.
Always different. Yeah. Because it's to do with the moment, you know. That's what the blues is all about.
People think the coolest member would be the bass guy, because the bass guy doesn't move a lot like the drummer and stuff.
The coolest guy, that's right. Yes.
The higher.
Yes. The bass is pretty much the foundation.
Yes.
And you know, with the chords and you know, the bass lines hold everything together, and also rhythmic as well.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the band plays funk, or you know, maybe something a little reggae tinged. So the bass is like, you know, giving the foundation to it, along with between the drums and the guitar.